Welcome to Spark Joy, the podcast dedicated to celebrating the KonMari Method and the transformative power of surrounding yourself with joy and letting go of all the rest. With your hosts and certified KonMari consultants, Kristen Ivy and Karen Sochi. And now, here's the show.
From Instagram to Facebook to Snapchat to TikTok, whatever platform you use, there's no denying it. Social media is here to stay. Today, we dive into 5 tips that will help you KonMari your social media by viewing your activity through a lens of joy. So put down that phone and ignore those notifications for the next 7 minutes. We're going to jump right in.
Tip number 1, envision your ideal social media lifestyle. Are you old enough to remember 1993? That is when I first got online in the AOL chat rooms, believe it or not. But also, you can think back even as far as 2004 when Facebook came online for the first time, if that is more familiar to you. Try to remember the first time you got social. What accounts were you using then? How much time did you spend logged in and active? Now, think about your present lifestyle. Probably a lot has changed. Does the way you're using social media now align with your original intentions? How do you want social media to add value to your life?
Tip number 2, gather social platforms together. Check your phone, your desktop, and email, and list the number of platforms and accounts that you have. Are they all active? Can you log into each? Remember, inactive accounts can expire over time. This is a good time to save or reset passwords and confront just how many places you live online.
Tip number 3, let go of social media accounts that don't spark joy with a thank you. Temporarily disable or deactivate accounts that don't align with your vision or your lifestyle any longer. Dormant accounts are the most susceptible to hacking. So even if you are an inactive user on a particular platform, you might want to cancel or check on your accounts periodically to make sure they have not been hijacked and being used for spam.
Tip number 4, add joy to your feed by curating joyful connections. Unfriend, mute, or unfollow friends and businesses you no longer have a solid connection with to build a positive news feed. Prioritize friends and relationships that are as strong in real life as they are on the web. This one step will have an incredibly powerful impact on your feed and will make you feel a bit more in control of the information that you're soaking in every day. Pause before you post by taking a few minutes to reflect on what you're going to share on social media. Refrain from sharing unverified news, private information, and offensive or inappropriate comments.
Tip number 5, maintain a healthy social media relationship by setting usage boundaries. Remove all or some social media apps from your phone to avoid using screen time as a distraction during moments of mindfulness. Use screen time trackers and screen time settings inherent to the apps to track exactly how much time you're spending on Facebook, Instagram, and more. These screen time apps and settings will even limit your ability to access the social media app once you've reached your limit. A surefire way to create a lasting habit of change is to be redirected in your previous habit.
Remember, the point of social media is to foster interactions, discussions, and community. Just like your home, it's a tool to help shift your attention to the things and experiences that matter most, like continuing to listen while you tidy right here on Spark Joy. Before we close, we want to send a special welcome and thank you to our newest Spark Joy Club members who joined at the Joy Sparker level. Vicky Peters, Stacey Locke, and Laura Eichman.
Join over 150 serious Tidiers who are making 2020 their very last year of being disorganized. We welcome you to extend the conversation around taking action, living, and maintaining a tidy lifestyle. We welcome you to join our community by visiting sparkjoypodcast.com and selecting Join the Club.
So now we want to hear from you. Tell us your burning tidying questions or share stories about how KonMari has impacted your life.
Head over to Apple Podcasts to subscribe and review the show, which helps us reach others along their tidying journeys.
To extend your tidying experience, you can join the Spark Joy Club.
Visit sparkjoypodcast.com and click Join the Club to become a member of the Spark Joy community or join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Thanks for tuning in, and we hope your day sparks joy.
Thank you for listening to Spark Joy with your hosts Kristen Ivy of For the Love of Tidy in Chicago and Karen Sochi of The Serene Home in New York City. Spark Joy, the podcast, is not endorsed by or affiliated with KonMari Media, Inc. The opinions expressed on this episode represent the views of the co-hosts and guests alone and do not represent the corporate position of KonMari Media, Inc. or the KonMari consultant community.